Hi everyone. In today's video, I'm going to talk about LunaProvider. LunaProvider is the name of Java security provider that comes with Luna client software. It is also called Luna JSP, where JSP stands for Java Security Provider. Just like Bouncy Castle, Sun PKCS11, Sun JCE, and other known provider, you could set up your Java runtime to use LunaProvider so your Java application can talk to a Luna HSM. For today's demo, I'll show you how to make Keytool work with LunaProvider so you can securely generate keys and store them in Luna HSM. I'll be using Cloud HSM for this demo, but the steps are going to be the same for Luna Network HSM, Luna PCIe HSM, and Luna USB HSM. Let's begin. Alright, I am logged into my Linux machine now. This is the Cloud HSM that I will be using for today's exercise. The slot ID of my Cloud HSM is 0 and the label that I'm using is SPKE. This is the label that I've set to my Cloud HSM slot. I'm going to exit out of this. I need to create a key store. I'm going to clear the screen now. So I think I already, yes. Okay, perfect. Now the key store file for LunaProvider is just a text file that contains some information for LunaProvider. That information is actually the slot label or the slot number. And this information is used by LunaProvider to connect to that slot. So for example, I'm going to create two key store files and they both will be doing the same thing. So the first key store I'm going to create is slot:0 luna1.ks. So slot:0 means that I'm telling LunaProvider to connect to slot 0 and I'm saving this information into luna1.ks. Another way to do it is you could just do token label, and if you know that label, I know it. It's SPKE luna2.ks. Okay, so I have two text files. I have luna1.ks and luna2.ks. I'll start with statically configuring LunaProvider by adding an entry in java.security file. So our next step is to copy some files. Just like Bouncy Castle and Sun PKCS11 had a jar file, Luna JSP also has a jar file, and that file is located at user safenet luna client JSP lib. So we have two files. There is a shared library and there's a jar file. We'll be copying this file lunaprovider.jar into our Java home gre lib ext. So I'm gonna do sudo cp lunaprovider.jar, and I know where my Java is, so gre lib ext. Gotta enter my password. Okay. Next step is to add LunaProvider in java.security. So again, sudo nano opt java jdk gre lib security java.security, and I'll just scroll down. All right, and I'll add the 10th entry, which is security.provider.10 com.safenetinc.luna.provider LunaProvider. That's it. I'll save the changes. So we have copied LunaProvider.jar in the JRE libext directory. We have also added the entry for LunaProvider in java.security file. The next thing we need to do is copy liblunaAPI.so in user lib directory. Now, instead of copying it, I usually create a symbolic link, which is actually better than copying the file directly into the user lib directory. So I'm going to do sudo user safenet luna client jsp liblunaAPI.so into user liblunaAPI.so. Command not found. Oh, I'm sorry. ln-s. Okay, very good. Let me do a long listing on user lib just to make sure we have a proper symbolic link. Okay, looks good to me. If you remember, in my previous video I had used code to display the list of all providers. I still have that file here. I'm gonna run it. So java list provider. Okay, there's a delay, which means at the moment it's trying to talk to our Luna HSM. Okay, and here's the LunaProvider, and that's how we configure LunaProvider statically on Linux. I'm going to clear the screen, and now I'm going to show you how to dynamically load a LunaProvider. But before we do that, let's execute a Keytool command. So I'm going to run Keytool. Wait, let's go back to our key store. Let's try these two key stores and see how they work. So I'm going to do keytool -list -keystore luna1.ks store type Luna. Hit enter. Okay, it's asking for a password. I've entered the password, and here it is. So at the moment, Keytool is using a key store of type Luna, and the provider being used is called LunaProvider. I don't have any keys in my cloud HSM, so that's why we are seeing 0 entries. I can do the same with luna2.ks. If you remember, luna2.ks has let me read that file for you. This one has token label, and this one is using the slot number. They're both doing the same thing. So instead of using a slot number, I'm simply specifying a label to connect to a Luna HSM. So keytool -list key store luna2.ks store type Luna. Should ask for a password any second now. There it is. I've entered the password, and I should get the same output like this one. Yep. So key store type Luna, key store provider is LunaProvider, and there are no keys. Let's try to generate a key. So I'm gonna generate a, I don't know, an RSA key. So keytool -gen key -alias my signing key -key alg RSA key size is 2048. Signing algorithm is SHA-256 with RSA validity of 730 days. Key store is luna1.ks. Store type is Luna. Okay, it's asking for the password. I don't think I entered the right password. I think I may have made a typo. Okay, it still worked, so I'll just call it testing, leave everything blank. Yes. Enter. Okay, the key has been generated. Let's do Keytool list, and this time I'm going to use luna2.ks. I'm going to add -v as well, or forget it. Okay, password. Okay, key store type Luna, key store provider LunaProvider, and we are back to our command prompt. So we just tested static LunaProvider. So we configured LunaProvider statically with Java, and we tried to use Keytool to generate a key and also list the content of a key store. Next, I'm going to show you how to configure LunaProvider dynamically. Let's imagine a scenario where I don't have root permissions, or I'm not a sudoer, and I need to and I can't copy files into jrelib.ext or into the user lib directory. But before we do that, I'm going to revert everything back to the way it was, which means I'm going to do sudo nano opt jrelib security java.security. We added an entry in java.security. I'm just going to remove it. So this is that line. I can just put a hash to comment it. It's the same thing. And yeah, so the LunaProvider has been disabled in java.security. I'm going to save the changes. Also, we copied some files. So sudo rm jrelib.ext LunaProvider. That file is removed. The third file that we copied was in user lib luna api.so. Alright, so everything is back to the way it was. So if I execute Keytool list, key store luna1.ks, store type Luna, we should see an error message. Yep, Luna not found. Let's try to load LunaProvider dynamically using Keytool. So I'm going to do keytool-list -keystore luna2.ks. It doesn't matter, I can use any key store I want. Store type should be Luna. Okay, the first thing we're gonna start with is provider class. This is going to be that entry that we try to add in java.security. So it's going to be com.safenetinc.luna.provider.LunaProvider. Next, we need to tell Keytool the path of LunaProvider.jar. So we are going to do that using provider path, and the file is at user safenet luna client jsp lib LunaProvider. We also need to tell Keytool how to load, or from where to load, the shared library. So -j -d java library path user safenet luna client jsp lib, and I'm going to hit enter. I'm entering my password. Okay, looks like it has loaded the key store. So the key store type is Luna, key store provider is LunaProvider. So this is the command to load LunaProvider dynamically using Keytool. I will be posting all these commands into my GitHub repository, and I will leave a link in the description. I'm not going to forget about Windows. So we already tried configuring LunaProvider on Linux. Now we are going to do the same on Windows. So this is a cloud HSM that is currently deployed on my Windows machine. So this one is at slot number 6, and that's the label. Okay, I'm going to exit out of this. I'm going to start with dynamically loading LunaProvider using Keytool. So copy con luna.ks slot:6 control Z. I just created the key store file, so I'm going to do keytool-list key store luna.ks. Store type is Luna. Obviously, if I hit enter now, it's going to fail. Yep, it failed. Luna not found. So we are going to load LunaProvider dynamically by adding -provider class, which is com.safenetinc.luna.provider.LunaProvider. Provider path, which is at C program files SafeNet Luna client JSP lib LunaProvider.jar, and the Java library path. We also need the shared library. In Windows, it's a DLL file, so it's at C program files SafeNet Luna client JSP / lib. Hit enter, and it should ask me for the password very soon. Here it is. So key store provider, key store type is Luna, key store provider is LunaProvider, and at the moment there are 0 entries, or there are no keys in this partition. Let's try to generate a key by loading LunaProvider dynamically. So keytool-list key store, and then store type is Luna. Sorry, why am I doing keytool list? It should be keytool-genkey-alias my signing key alg RSA key size 2048. Signing algorithm is going to be SHA-256 with RSA validity of 730 days. Key store is luna.ks. Store type is Luna. Dname cn testing. Provider class is com.safenetinc.luna.provider.LunaProvider, and the provider path is at C:/program files SafeNet Luna client JSP lib LunaProvider.jar, and what did we miss? Oh, the Java library path. So Java library path is C:/program files SafeNet Luna client JSP lib, and yeah, that's it. I'm going to hit enter, and I get an error message, failed to load. Okay, it's asking for the password. Hit enter. Okay, my key is generated. Let's try to verify that using keytool-list command. Okay, I've entered the password, and this time we should see one new entry. So key store type Luna, key store provider is LunaProvider, and yes, there is one key entry. Obviously, it's going to be a private key entry with the label my signing key. There it is. So that's how we configure or use LunaProvider dynamically using Keytool. Next is configuring LunaProvider statically on Windows. So I'm going to clear the screen. If you have noticed, this command prompt is not elevated, so I will not be able to make any changes in GRE libext or copy any files. I would have to elevate this window and try again. So I'm going to exit out of this. I'll bring my elevated command prompt over here. I'm going to copy files, so it should be in program files, SafeNet, Luna client, JSP lib. So these are the two files, lunaapi.dll and lunaprovider.jar. Let's first copy lunaprovider.jar. So copy lunaprovider.jar into, wait a second. Okay, so that's the path. Copy lunaprovider.jar into C:/ program files java jdk gre lib ext. File copied. Next, I'll copy lunaapi.dll in C Windows. So copy lunaapi.dll into C:/Windows. Actually, I meant system32. Sorry, not C Windows, it's C Windows system32. Okay, file has been copied. And the last thing we need to do is we need to edit java.security. So notepad C:/program files java jdk gre lib security / java.security. I'm going to bring this file here, scroll down. Okay, I'm going to add 11th entry. So security.provider11 com.safenet.inc.luna.provider.lunaprovider. You can add LunaProvider wherever you want, but I think, in most cases, it's best to add it between Sun RSA and Sun EC. Otherwise, you can leave it as the last provider. You know what? I'm going to add it as the third provider in this list, because in my experience, that's where LunaProvider works the best for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I have experienced. So I'm going to renumber everything correctly. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, I'll save the changes. And okay, I have a key store already created on this file. So luna.ks, and this key store is pointing to slot 6. So now I'm going to execute the keytool list command. Keytool list key store luna.ks. Store type is Luna. Asking for the password. Here's the password. Okay, so LunaProvider is loaded. Key store type is Luna. And obviously we are going to see just one entry, which is going to be a private key entry. Okay, here's a complete output. And that's how we configure LunaProvider statically on Windows. There's one more thing I want to share with you. So we copied a file in C Windows system32. So I'm going to delete that file. It's at C Windows system32 lunaapi.dll. Okay, file is deleted. I'm going to execute keytool list just to make sure, just to see if it's going to work or not. And obviously it's going to fail because it can't find that shared library or the DLL file. So our alternative is, let me clear the screen. We could add the Luna SafeNet Luna client JSP lib directory in the path environment variable. So I'm going to run the command set path equal to path C:/program files SafeNet Luna client JSP lib. Okay, let's execute path again, and we see program file SafeNet Luna client JSP lib. Let's execute Keytool list command. And there it is. Okay, so we have the output of Keytool list command, and that's how we configure LunaProvider statically on Windows. I need a coffee after this. I hope this video was informative and you learned something new from it. Hit that like button if you liked this video. Use the comment section if you have any question, and subscribe to my channel if you're new here. I'll see you soon in my next video. Have a good one.